guys, welcome back to another video. So today's video is a little bit shorter, as well as that we're going to be doing something just a little bit different. I'm not going to be drawing any characters today or people in general, or I guess like figures in this case. I wanted to take you guys along with just like a brief little session of drawing flowers. Now I believe I said in a different either sketchbook session or a sketchbook tour that I wanted to do more like flower studies and stuff, but the thing is I don't know if I was just too tired on this day. Usually when I want to do flower studies and stuff, or how I wanted to plan out doing flower studies, is that I wanted to actually do research and look up like a certain type of flower that I'm interested in learning how to draw and learning like the form and the structure and stuff. But I kind of needed to ease myself in a little bit, kind of to boost that confidence just a little bit before tackling something like that. And I wasn't sure if I was ready to do like a time-lapse video. I kind of want to do some for myself first, so I can get kind of a feel of how I want to format things, how I want to approach it before I start to share it, because I don't want to do everything in one sitting. And that's how I usually film like these sketchbook sessions, is I, block out an hour or two and just doodle or sketch or do whatever in my sketchbook. So I'm actually going to open up my sketchbook so I can look at the same page, so I have something to look on while the time-lapse is going. So for the flowers, I actually wanted to basically paint blue flowers on this entire spread. You probably already noticed either from the title or the thumbnail that these will be just blue flowers for the whole entire spread. On the spread on the back, you'll see it at the very end, I actually did orange flowers, and the only reason I did this is because I was watching more YouTubers again, obviously, and I was watching Alban and Ike. So I watch them probably the most nowadays just because it's easy for me to focus with them in the background. I still pretty much watch everyone in the GEN or whoever's live, but orange flowers, I thought they obviously suit Alban's kind of aesthetic, so I did a few of those. But for the session I'm showing you guys, I was trying to figure out flowers that suit Ike. So before this video went up, before the footage was recorded, I guess is what I mean, I actually wanted to plan out a illustration for Ike's birthday. So when this video comes out, it's already gonna be past his birthday and I've already done an illustration, but I don't know, I did his illustration a little last minute, so a lot of these flowers aren't really reflected in that illustration anyways, so it was kind of like a bust. But yeah, for the flowers, let's talk about process, I guess. For the flowers, I decided to sketch, and I usually don't show the sketching portion in the videos just because, like I said, I usually like to prop up my book or take my time to sketch, or it's usually quite hard to see, which you guys are gonna notice for maybe the next few seconds, I think. So like 3 minutes of this footage is just me sketching, and it's very hard to see because I sketch fairly light, and my camera hates like the high contrast, so yeah. But I decided to sketch with the Pilot Color Eno, and this time I'm sketching in purple because I'm working with a lot more cooler tones, a lot of blues, a lot of like a bit of purples and stuff here and there. So I thought purple would be more suitable to have the base sketched out. So all I did was I went onto Pinterest. I typed, I believe, literally blue flowers or blue flower, one or the other. I forgot to save the references, because I just had Pinterest open and I was just scrolling through and I didn't really pin them. I think I might have pinned one of them. But yeah, if you just search blue flower on Pinterest, I'm pretty sure you'll find like similar flowers or similar flowers that you can draw from. So what I'm doing is setting up the sketchbook for painting. So I have a towel this time on the left hand side, and then I have binder clips to keep my page from warping too much. And I'm just going ahead and going in with watercolor. So I like to paint flowers with watercolor just because I can get a full range of color usually. I can also take my time to see where the light is hitting, leave some white areas. I also can just mix any variety of color at my disposal pretty much. So a lot of the blue flowers that I chose to draw, or like from what I saw on Pinterest, a lot of them are like blue and yellow together. A lot of the times the center is either like yellow, sometimes it's like a dark purple or a dark green, depending on the flower. So I just chose, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think 10 different types. If not, I counted wrong and it's 9 different flower types. And yeah, I'm just doing my best to follow the reference a little bit, but also just trying to stylize the flowers in my way of how I like to paint. I think there's like a rose, like a closed rose on the right side spread in the center that I think I like the most. I think it's also because it has the highest amount of contrast, but that's how I usually kind of paint. I don't mind the other ones. I like a lot of the ones that are more on the lighter side. I think my least favorite is actually the one in the bottom left-hand corner. And I accidentally butchered the shape of it. I think I had the shape correct when I was sketching it, but when I was painting, I forgot to leave some areas lighter than some. So it didn't read how it should have. And that's kind of like partially why I want to learn how to draw flowers more accurately. I think flowers, like the forms of flowers, are very like delicate, and they seem like a lot of the petals are very thin, and oftentimes when I'm painting them or I'm just drawing them in general, I tend to make them look a little bit thick or plasticky. So I want to get better at painting them, getting the shapes, making things look a little bit more crisp, a little clear and delicate, I guess, if that makes sense. I'm slowly working towards it. I think it's more evident that my flowers look a little bit more like bulky and a little bit more thicker in my digital work, and I think it's just the way how I color objects. Yeah, I think it's out of habit for the most part. Yeah, I think in the future I will do some sketching sessions with pencil and watercolor paint probably together, and we can do studies of just one type of flower, and I can try to my best to, you know, draw from a reference, kind of break down the form, and then draw from imagination, knowing how to form it from the previous practice and stuff. And then we can do a little bit of like color studies if I want to. I used to do these actually digitally, maybe if I remember. I also have my iPad open, so I can probably check in my gallery to see if I actually still have these. I was planning to do like a zine or something like that, where I show my studies of flowers and things. I mostly did like sketches and like little color studies, and I took like little notes, which is why I really want to like actually study and do research on the flowers, because I have a lot of interest in it, but I don't have enough interest to be like, I don't know, to actually study like botany or anything like that, or like, I don't know, to do like intense amount of research. Like I'm not looking for how much sunlight they need to have in order to flourish, whether or not they're more of like a winter. Actually, I kind of want to know that. Actually, I do like flower language too, like the meaning of flowers as well, but I don't know if it's a bad thing. I mostly like flowers for like aesthetically, for the most part. Aesthetically and like the meaning of flowers is what I mostly focus on. Some other things like I used to kind of take notes on was like I have like these, I don't know what they're called, perennial, and then I said like poisonous to cats and dogs, very hardy plant, can grow in tough drought, and they can be dark blue, pale blue, or white. Like I like kind of taking those little notes, but I don't know if I want to do that directly in my sketchbook. It might be just like research for my brain rather than for me to take notes. I think I'll just do more like form and structure in my sketchbook or something along those lines. Hopefully, like, I hope you guys really don't mind that, you know, it's not a character today, and we can just focus on having fun with painting for a little bit of sketching. And then once I actually finish off with doing the colors and kind of planning out the forms and stuff and adding the values to each of the different kind of flowers that we have here on the spread, I will actually go in with a needlepoint pen and I will do some of the line work. Because one thing I really like, I think it also helps because painting will give me a better idea of how to like shape the form and stuff, but I like doing like really crisp, sharp lines and kind of in a more like sketchy way, so we can kind of like figure out a shortcut or a shorthand way how to draw the flower. So it's, for me, it's like good practice for me to outline them with pen, and it kind of also makes it into more of like a 2D form, if that makes sense, which helps me be able to draw them a little bit better if I wanted to simplify them. But yeah, watercolor is giving me practice for values and some of the shape. This is the flower I'm talking about that I like the most. I also think it's more because like it's also a little bit more painterly. I'm letting the watercolor bleed and flow, and I'm just letting kind of like color pool and stuff and letting watercolor do its thing, which I kind of really like. Everything else, like I would have to lay down color, I would wash my brush, lift up the color to make sure it's like smoothly being laid out on the paper. But yeah, you can see that this paper, it handles watercolor okay. When it dries, I feel like it looks a little bit like marker if I didn't approach it the same way as that one flower in the center, like the dark rose. But yeah, I actually really like the texture and the way the watercolor behaves, but it definitely doesn't behave the same way as if you were to paint on watercolor paper. It dries pretty much immediately unless you let it pool, and it's hard to spread out and let colors like bleed into one another if you're not too quick. So yeah, but it's like a quick way for me to add color in a sketchbook, especially. I just find, yeah, painting's a lot quicker for me in terms of using it in the sketchbook. Also, just a quick note, since this is Monday's video, I want to let you guys know that my store is open. If you guys are hoping to purchase some sketchbooks, or I guess not sketchbook, these aren't blank notebooks, by the way. And I believe Floral Waters is the only one that is left. I only have a few of them left. I think there is 5 or 6 left in the store, so if you would like to get that, you can go ahead and check out my shop, plus a few little other things that I have on there as well. I'll make sure to put like something at the very beginning letting you guys know that my shop is open, since I know not everyone watches until the very end. But yeah, some of these sketches I think really benefit from having the lines. I do like this one a lot too. I think I could have left it without the lines as well. I think it read nicely knowing which petals was kind of being curved in the front and which ones were bellowing in the back, and yeah, I really liked it. This one I was a little bit more disappointed. I think I liked my sketch more, and the flowers for it were really pretty, kind of more bulbous, but I don't know. I think how I separated each little flower, I guess, with watercolor made it look and read a little bit differently. I definitely think the pen helps indicate the form a little bit better for like individual petals, so I'm not too disappointed after I did the pen, but I think I need to focus a little bit more when I'm doing color for each of the flowers, so I know how the flowers read by just using the color and kind of value rather than focusing on the line work. But I'm kind of balancing both at this point, like I'm testing out both to see what I like and what I will do in the future. Yeah, I definitely want to do more flower studies in the future, but let me know if you guys want to see more videos where it's just kind of like these studies or something. I'll make it more like study focused for maybe future videos. This one's kind of like a trial run where I'm just dabbling in a bunch of different things. Yeah, we can do more like focused study on flowers and stuff. I think it'll be fun. I'm not sure if I can do well with the commentary and stuff, but I'll do my best with filming at least. And yeah, that's pretty much it for these flower doodles, just all blue flowers. I think it looks really pretty with all of them being one kind of hue, or not hue, kind of like one color family, if that makes sense. And yeah, I'll show you guys the few other pages after I remove all my binder clips, so you guys can see some previous little pages where I did do other flower studies, like these ones, the orange flowers for Albon. I actually like these ones the most. Yeah. And then I have some from like way before when I was doing stuff for Darling for 17. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know I rambled a lot, but yeah, bye!